Hello, everyone. I'm going to be doing a really cute razor bob on my client. She has very baby fine, goldeny, curly, wavy hair, but she has a lot of it. So she came in and just said, "Chop it all off, Jen. I'm ready. It's hot. It's summer. I want to have a bob." So I was really excited. Of course, every hairdresser always gets excited to do something fun and different for their clients. And cutting hair is very satisfying and very fun. I love cutting hair. So I'm just breaking down the nape area, which is probably the most important section of a bob. So I'm just taking my time analyzing her neckline and looking to see where I'm going to establish the length. So with the nape, I also keep in mind that it's going to be a little bit shorter than the rest of the haircut. As you see, as I progress with the haircut, I like to take each section of hair that I pull down and make it slightly longer than the last. So with this nape area, I am using the flat of the blade to soften her hair. And this kind of gives a nice base and removes a lot of hair and makes it a little bit softer. And when all the hair lays on top of it, it oh yeah, like so much hair. 12 inches, I'd say, that we cut. So yes, the nape area is I'm just trying to remove as much weight. I thought about maybe giving her an undercut, but decided to do this instead. Just really remove a lot of weight so when the bob is all said and done, it doesn't turn out too mushroomy or poofy in the back. So I'm just using the flat of the blade to soften the hair and remove a lot of hair. And then I'm also going to go through and do some weight removal. I also took my scissors to just strengthen up the hairline a little bit. Because sometimes when you use the flat of the blade, it can give you all these little stragglers and baby hairs. So I really want to strengthen up the perimeter with the scissors a little bit. I'm all about feeling out the hair, being super organic and intuitive with haircuts. So here I decided to graduate a little bit more just so it'll lay more snug to her head. So I'm just going in and doing a little bit of graduation. This is the area I definitely spend the most amount of time on, because by the time you get to the front of the head, unless you're doing bangs, you really don't have much else to do. So I really take my time in the nape area, because I've learned over the years, if the nape doesn't look good, it kind of kills the bob a little bit. So I'm just taking another section and bringing it out, taking weight out, just making sure it lays really nicely against her head. Making some space in there. I love the razor so much. It's just it gives you so much freedom with the hair. And it just, understanding weight removal was probably the hardest part of learning how to cut with the razor. When to take weight out, when not to take weight out. It just comes with practice and doing haircuts over and over again and just analyzing, being like, well, I could have taken more hair out in this area, or next time I won't take out as much in this area. But yes, so I'm just slowly going up her head. Once I get past the nape area and I'm getting towards the occipital, I start bringing the sections straight down and just using the toe heel of the blade, not so much the flat of the blade anymore. The flat of the blade is helps you remove the most amount of hair in a short amount of time. I hope that makes sense. And using the toe of the blade and the heel of the blade helps you establish the length. And you can be as tight with the stroke or as loose as the stroke as you want. I'm being kind of in between because I do want it to be a strong line. So if you want like a really blunt, super strong line with the razor, I would do really short strokes. But if you want, like with her hair, it's so curly and cute. I kind of just wanted it to be more open and fluffy and sweet. So I was a little bit more open with my stroke. I hope that there's some razor cutters out there who understand what I'm saying. I do have a video that I put out a few weeks ago analyzing razor cutting versus scissor cutting, and I demonstrated on a mannequin head doing a shag haircut, and I kind of explained how I trained as a razor cutter and who I went to and all that stuff. So if you are curious more about using the straight blade razor, if you're not already, please watch that video because I do give out some information about how I was educated and just my knowledge of it as of now. Anyways, so back to the haircut. I'm just going up to the crown of the head, taking out sections. I like to go side to side so they are both being cut at the same level. But I am taking each section and pulling it down and just ever so slightly making it a little bit longer than the last section, because that'll give you that nice little like bend, and like in the bob it'll give you that nice like tuck under, and then it's not flipping out so much. So now I'm just going to the side of the head. Once I get to the top of her head is when I start kind of tying it all together and bringing the length to the front of her head. And I usually section from the ear back and then bring all that together. And then I go to the section that's in front of the ear and connect that. At a slight angle too. I am bringing the hair back just a little bit because I do want her to have a little bit of an angle in the bob. Nothing too dramatic. I don't like those super angular A-line bobs. I mean, if it's done well, I guess I could be into it, but it's not my favorite. I just think of like, the late 2000s, like emo, super angular A-line haircuts. That's just not really my thing. I'm more into like the 60s, 50s and 60s, like super soft and sweet looking little bobs. That's my favorite. So just connecting the back with the front and taking out weight where it needs it. I'm basically just, when I am looking for weight removal, I'm basically just taking sections that look really heavy and thick and just ever so slightly breaking it up with the razor. It takes a lot of practice to understand weight removal, and I didn't get it for like maybe the first year or two that I was razor cutting, but you just kind of get really intuitive with it after a while. And now I can just look at hair and just see this chunk or lift a piece of a section of hair and just be like, I can't see through this, so I'm going to break it up. And then I just play with it and see how it feels, and if it's feeling airy and light, then I took the right amount out. But if it's feeling slappy and thick, then I need to take more out. But taking out weight is just, it's amazing. It's a game changer with doing razor cutting. I think that's why I get a lot of feedback from my clients saying how long the haircut lasted and so easy to style. It dried really fast. And that's all from weight removal. A lot of people get afraid of it, and I totally understand it. I was really afraid of it as well for a long time. But like I said, just with practice, and you don't have to take out a ton in the beginning, just a little bit here and there, and then just analyze your haircuts when you're styling and just be like, I could have taken out a little bit more in this area. I'll do that next time. Sometimes the clients don't even notice, they don't really see what you see, but yeah, you could just do it on their haircut next time. I think it's better to take out not as much weight than it is to overly weight remove, because then you're just like left with little little strands of hair, and you don't want that. So now I'm on the bangs, and she didn't want her bangs too short, so I'm doing kind of a curtain bang style on her. I'm starting in the front and pulling each section to the side and cutting it that way. And then I'm not going to take out too much in this area because I don't want to kill that bob, the strength of the bob length. Excuse me. So I'm just doing weight removal to make it a little bit softer and not really cutting the sides too much, because I do want it to be really strong and soft if that's possible. Going in and just breaking up her bang area a little bit so it swings and moves. If you ever have any questions about razor cutting, feel free to leave a comment below. Sometimes when I talk, I don't know if I'm saying the right things. It's just the things I think about in my head and my own terms for things, because sometimes there's not even a word for it. It's just a feeling. So I hope that what I'm explaining makes sense. I think I'm a very visual person, so I think just watching someone cutting is enough for me to understand. But hopefully my words will help as well for you. So I'm just going in and just feeling it out, seeing how it's laying, how it feels. And we decided to blow dry her hair, which we normally never do. She usually likes a good diffuse to bring out her curls. But today she wanted to do kind of more of a polished bob with a little bit of a wave to it. So I'm just going through, starting in the back, checking out that nape area, making sure the hair is laying right. Because I can always go in afterwards if I didn't take out enough weight or it's not laying the way I want it to. I can always go in once it's dry. But thankfully with this haircut, it came out the way I wanted, and it's looking so cute. So just going through and twisting the round brush to give a little bit of a bend. I love doing blowouts. It's one of my favorite things. I do a lot of diffusing as well of hair. I love to just use my hand to style the hair. It just depends on what the client wants and also their texture, what it needs. But I had fun doing this for her because we've never done anything like this before. She's usually a pretty all-natural kind of girl or woman. And just going in and pulling the hair forwards, backwards, getting some volume, smoothing it out, playing with it. I like to go back and forth with the blow dryer and twisting, and from years of playing with hair, it's a feel. It's all organic and a feel. Her hair is so pretty. I just love her color, and it's all natural too. She has the most gorgeous, like, goldeny blonde color. So we were kind of playing around with it, and she wanted the option to be able to, like, move it to the side or have full on bangs. So we were kind of playing around with it, and her bang length is long enough to where she can play around with the part, or she can have the bangs come forward. So, so cute. It's very 50s, 60s vibes, which I love. And yeah, it came out so cute, so light, and it'll look really good air dried as well. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.